found that there isn't enough awareness. A lot of people don't know about Huntington. And if you mention Huntington, they say, what is that? My name is Catherine, and I'm 50 years old. I was born in Mauritius, and my first encounter with Huntington was, it came from my grandmother, and her sisters had it, and that got passed on to my dad. And from my dad and another uncle and aunt also received Huntington, which they passed away from. And then my older brother also had Huntington, and my younger brother, and I was tested and I wasn't affected. With the genetic process, we go first of all for counseling so that we are able to know if we can handle the news, what we are going to do, how we're going to receive it, and to make us prepared if it is a yes, how we're going to feel about that. And then they do some genetic tests where they ask you questions just to test your responses and things like that. And then we go and have blood tests done and wait a couple of months, and then we get the results. And I had a cousin that came with me to receive my results, and it was a great comfort to go with someone because you can share that experience with someone and just to know that someone was there, regardless of what the results were. And I had such a sense of relief because I had a child and I had a husband, and I didn't know my dad had Huntington. So it was such a sense of relief for me to know that my child didn't get it and I wouldn't be able to pass it on, because if I don't have it, then my child can't have it. Also, when my brother went, I expected I didn't get it. There's no way that he can have it, but it can skip. And not that it doesn't affect women, because it does. You know, it's my niece has had it, and my aunt, who is female, my grandmother. So it definitely affects women as well. For me, I just feel that in this family situation where I have an older brother and a younger brother, I was maybe chosen to care for the other ones. If we all three had it, there would be no one to care for. So I was very grateful that I didn't have the illness, but I was so heart sore when I found out that my younger brother had it. And there was nothing that I could say or do to erase that, But to have seen his faith and his courage and the way that he responded to the results that he had at HT increased my faith. And I thought, wow, it's such a strong person. And I was going to fall to pieces when I heard that, because we're very close, my younger brother and I. When he found out there's nothing that you can do, there's no cure, you just have to get on with life. That's the thing. There's no treatment that he could go for or anything like that at the time. So he just did life as best as he can. But I think he struggled with the depression a lot, the anxiety of knowing what's ahead. The struggles that we faced together as a family was just the not knowing if we had the illness or not. So I felt it was better for me to know. I didn't tell my brothers that I was going for the tests because I didn't want them to feel that they needed to also fear of the future. It was just a personal decision. But we noticed with time that my older brother showed symptoms of the illness, and my younger brother encouraged him, come, let's go together and let's go and be tested. And when it came to the time to be tested, my older brother said no, he was not prepared to know yet, and he didn't want to know. And so my younger brother went for the test, and he was tested positive. And with time, we needed to find a place for my older brother, because with the illness, sometimes you get aggressive and hard to control, and needed treatment and specialized care. I found that was a difficult thing, that we had to get professional help, and the police actually needed to get involved to try and put him in a hospital against his will. And that, I reckon, was one of the hardest things we've ever had to do as a family. And my niece, she stayed in Port Elizabeth, and her mother sent her to Cape Town so that I could care for her because she couldn't care for her. We tried to find a place for her, and there was a great need for a place for juvenile Huntington, and no home would accept her. The problems that we faced was that they take children up to the age of 18, and then from 18 onwards there's just retirement homes. There's a big gap between the age of 18 and 60, where there's actually no place. And the problem with that as well is many of the homes don't know enough about Huntington. They're reluctant to accept something that they're not aware of. We tried various places, and it's just been a struggle to try and find a place. So as a result, we've had to try and care for her ourselves, and try and get someone that could come and assist. And that can be sometimes a costly thing for families. That illness affected also my niece's one child, and also experiencing I think the younger that you have, the more aggressive the symptoms. And also it's been a struggle trying to find out more about the illness and trying to find a place that would be able to care for those patients. It's not easy. I'm not sugarcoating it. It's not easy. It really isn't. There's times that you just feel, okay, it's too much now. You just need time out. And it's real emotions, it's not easy. And I just feel sometimes we just need some time out and just to have rest, because the more you give all the time, and you're not recharging your own batteries, you can get burnout. Like today was one of those days when I got home, and the person that was looking after Melissa hadn't come. So you have to do the housework, you have to do the cooking, you have to do the caring. So there's a whole lot of things at the same time. But the more that you do it, the easier it does become. At first, in the first few months, it was really trying to work and also trying to care for the family. I had huge support from my husband. I don't know what I would do without my husband. And just the family just got together and made it work. So as I'm sharing this, I'm just saying it is difficult for family members to care for the patients, and also what got us through everything was, I reckon, our faith and knowing that we have someone, our God is behind us and supporting us, because otherwise it would not have been possible. And Hassa has also been a great help to us, and particularly Mandy, who was our social worker, and she was able to assist us in our time of need, trying to find placement and just being there as a support. And she introduced this support group, which also helped us a lot. And there we can share ideas, and you don't feel that you're alone, because sometimes the thing that carers go through, or family members, that you feel so alone in the situation and no one seems to be able to understand. Just knowing that Thelma and Mandy and other family members are also going through that, and Bernie also, it's been a great encouragement for us. Movements have been a thing that I've experienced with my older brother. He had severe movements, but there was medication that he was being treated with that helped him with those movements. And I actually found that he came from an aggressive personality already to someone who was in his last days very calm, very placid, very appreciative. So there again I say it's a miracle from God that He can change those situations. Sometimes we think they're really, really bad situations, but when we have faith in God, He can actually make a miracle and make these people just carry on in the struggle that they're facing with great courage and appreciation. So I can also give hope towards that if you encourage someone and pray for someone and you believe that a miracle can happen, you can see a transformation in the person that is greatly encouraging. I have been working with an autistic child as well, and in a retirement home with dementia people. And I believe those jobs, although it's been stressful trying to keep do a whole lot of things, I believe it was also training for me, because I'm not a trained carer, and I didn't know. I went blind eye and accepting the responsibility for my niece, which was not actually a choice either, but it just happened. And many family members will see that they're actually in a situation where they have no choice but to care for family members. But the working with other patients as well has taught me so much about people and how they react. I've been taught hugely by these patients, so that when I come to caring for my family members, that it's easier to do so. So thank you for listening, and I appreciate it.
Thank you.